Hey crew, Conrad coming at you with the news, events, and weather for November 8th, 2023. Let's jump right in. Hey crew, this is, I've done a few takes on this one and I'm really actually struggling to get through this. It has to do with fire. Some of you are already aware, some of you may not be, but we've all seen side-by-sides and sand cars burned to the ground out at the dunes. No matter what dune complex you go to, it's just something that happens. So I'm reporting on this one because I feel like it needs to be shared for fire awareness. So about 2 weeks ago, it was right around Camp Razor. A couple fellows went out behind Oldsmobile Hill, rolled their side-by-side over, and they had their full gear on, helmets, the whole nine, rolled the side-by-side over 3 times, and the machine caught fire. The driver was able to get out with very little injuries, but the passenger was stuck in the car and ended up getting burned. From what I understand, the driver went back, helped get the passenger out, but he suffered 3rd-degree burns. So this car that we see right here, this is actually Tyler Moore. He's the one who transported the burned fellow from Oldsmobile Hill out to the flats so the Mercy Air could take him to a burn center. Now the fellow was coherent. He was awake, he was walking, but he was absolutely in shock because of the burns that were over his body. So this is coming straight from Tyler Moore. Let me drag this over here. It is with a heavy heart that I write this. The gentleman involved in the Razor fire behind Olds has passed away. He was put in an induced coma soon after getting admitted to a local renowned burn center on Sunday, but succumbed to his injuries today. The driver has injuries as well, but is expected to make a full recovery and has been released. So here's the deal about that. A fellow lost his life, and then lives are changed. Families' lives are changed. Now, this could have been any one of us. Fire safety, knowing how to get out of your belts, having the proper belts in your car. Everybody knows how to use them. Plus, fire safety equipment. Maybe you've got the dashboard where you pull the switch and it, puts the fire out. Maybe you've got fire extinguishers on the car. It's actually a few years ago that somebody said to me, the fire equipment that you put on your car is not to save the car. It's to save you. It's to save your passengers from getting burnt. I was like, oh my gosh, like it really shifted my thought process on getting out of the car and thinking I need to put it out to save the car. It's like, no, save your own butt, right? So making people aware that this does happen. So side-by-sides, when these things catch on fire, there's a lot of plastic on them. So these things go up like a Roman candle. They burn like mad. Sand cars, on the other hand, what do we have? Usually the engine, transmission, the fuel tank ruptures, catches all on fire. The seats catch on fire. You have a little bit more time to get out of a sand car as far as how fast the fire grows. But I want to mention this. I prefer perforated floors in sand cars. It doesn't matter what car I'm driving. And here's the reason why. If you have a solid floor and that fuel tank ruptures, it's usually behind us. It's behind the driver and passenger. If it's a 2-seater, behind the 3rd and 4th seats, behind the rear passengers. If that fuel tank ruptures and that car is pointed down, that fuel gets dumped right on the floor and it goes all the way to the front of the car. So if you have an issue, you need to get out fast, right? Especially if the exhaust or something ignites that fuel, that whole car is going to catch on fire in no time. Myself, I prefer a stainless, the little holes floor in the car, or the old school. What do we have? The X, the old 1970s, you'd put that welded to the frame so the sand would escape, but it's also so the fuel can escape. It gives you a little bit more time to get out of the car. We are going to do an episode in the future on your options for fire safety. This just kind of spurred me on to discuss it right now. But first and foremost, fire extinguishers on the car. You see fire, get the hell out of it, right? Okay, I'll get off the lectern and I'll stop harping about this. This is just an absolute tragedy, and it just, I don't know, guys, it really tugs at my heartstrings. So we've got that for the news, and then we need to get on to the events and the weather. So let me pause for a moment and we'll jump into the events. Hang tight. This weekend, we'll go ahead and start in Glamis. We have the 20th annual flagpole ceremony, 11/11/23 at 11:11 a.m. This is brought to you by Glamis Veterans. I highly recommend you head over to their Facebook page and join their group and get involved. They do an absolutely epic event for Veterans Day, thanking all of our vets, right? So what you see here is the flag, as well as this piece up here is a light. It's a solar powered light. So Old Glory is lit up all year long. So every year on Vets, they bring the pole down, they replace the flag, they put up a brand new one, and then they put this all back together. They have some speeches, challenge coins get handed out, as well as flyovers. A handful of airplanes come out and fly. It's just absolutely just jaw-dropping. It's just one of those events you don't want to miss. If you have to miss it, check this out. They're going to have a live stream of the event right here, Facebook and YouTube. And they're saying in the dunes, turn off the tunes and turn into the BFG relay. So even if you're on site and you're far away, you're in the back 40, you can turn on the BFG relay and you can hear everything that's going down on the floor. So you're definitely going to want to tune in on that. As well, this weekend is a fee-free weekend right here from the ISDRA website. This weekend coming up for Veterans Day, mark your calendars, Friday 11/10 through Sunday 11/12. No permits are required. So again, if you go once a year, you're not going to have to worry about putting a permit on your car. You can go out and camp, have a good time, and visit all your buddies out at the flagpole. Go check it out. Okay, let's jump into the next. So you're out in Glamis, you've done the Vets ceremony on Saturday, you're going to want to go over on Sunday, brought to you by the Clean Dune Project. They will have bags and gloves. You're going to meet at Wash 6 restrooms at 9 a.m. You're going to be helping to clean washes 2 through 6. Help us make Glamis beautiful as we clean up the camping area in the washes. As you're aware, we just had our first big weekend over Halloween, and unfortunately, there are some folks that left their trash behind. Do your part and help clean up the dunes before you head out for the weekend. Okay, let's jump into the next event. And if you're a Dumont Duner, you're not going to be left out. Friends of Dumont Dunes, which, by the way, go to their Facebook page and join this group as well, is putting on an event. Saturday, November 11th, 9:30 a.m. lineup, where west of Vendor Row. So here's the thing about this, folks. The road from Baker out to Dumont Dunes is still closed. You got to come in from the north side and back down and around. So I wanted to give you the heads up on that as well. So it might be a little bit slower at Dumont. I think a lot of folks are going to Glamis or Pismo Beach instead because they can't, there's not good access out to Dumont Dunes. But if you happen to be going there, you're not going to want to miss this event. Okay, next event. Maybe you're into sand drag cars. You're not going to Glamis, you're not going to Dumont or Pismo, but you're near Yuma, Arizona. You're going to want to head over to Dome Valley Raceway. They've got the Pro Drag Racing Showdown this weekend. This is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Top alcohol, top eliminator, and heads up classes. There is going to be some fast, loud machines here. I highly recommend you go and check one of these out. I've never done this sand drag racing with a Christmas tree in the whole 9 yards. I mean, I've done sand drag races out at Glamis, over by the ranger station, like everybody else. Don't block the starting line, too, by the way. I'm probably preaching to the choir, but yeah, this is going to be an awesome event. I'd really like to build a sand drag car one day just to go out there and do it and start making some passes, do the heads up classes. Nothing too serious. There's always somebody faster. All right. Near Yuma, go check out this show. So that's it for the events. Let's go ahead and jump into the weather. All right, let's see what we got coming up. So it looks like Wednesday, Thursday, there's going to be some cloud cover on there, partly cloudy on Friday, and then Saturday for the veteran ceremony, it's going to be absolutely beautiful out. Sunday is going to be the same thing. So it looks like we have a high of 82, 79 on Saturday. Man, this is going to be an epic weekend. Super nice. Let's see what we've got for precipitation. 0% across the board. And then wind. We have Wednesday, 21 miles an hour. So the wind's moving. If you happen to be driving out today or tomorrow, be careful towing your rig. But 17, 13, 10, and 13. So it's actually going to be trending down. So Saturday, looks like we're not going to really have much wind, just a slight breeze and beautiful conditions. Otherwise, we need to go ahead and close this out by saying thank you for watching. See you in the dunes.